welcome back to Beach Bum Bookworm. I am Tiffany. I'm so glad y'all found me again today. The show's all about cozy mysteries and romance books. And today I'm here with my August cozy mystery wrap up. First, I have to show you, and I know I've showed on the live before, but you know, not everybody's there, and I just have to share it. And if I've shared it on a video, just nod and act like I didn't, okay? It's okay. Look at my new mug. It is my absolute favorite. I have been like washing this every single day just to be able to use it again and again because I can't. Isn't it beautiful? And the inside is this color. And it says, I'd rather take coffee than compliments just now. Louisa May Alcott. Oh my gosh. Little Women is one of my favorite books from childhood. Oh my goodness. And I need to know, and there's only one right answer, which Little Women movie do you prefer? Again, only one correct answer will be accepted. Just kidding. But I would like to know. And oh my gosh. Okay. Let me put the mug down. I can't help it. I just look at it and think, oh, it's so pretty. Okay, let's get into these. We're talking cozy mystery wrap up. All the cozies I read some great 5-star reads this month. In 3, 2, 1, go. As always, don't forget to hit the like, subscription, notification bell. All 3 of those help us out tremendously in the algorithm. It costs nothing. Support is absolutely free. The buttons are all below. The notification bell tells you when we put out videos each and every week so you don't miss anything from your favorite content creators. The like button just helps us in that algorithm, and the subscription keeps the channel growing. I can't thank you enough. I'm having the best time. Oh my, I'm so grateful because it's just been the best community. I started off my reads with a bang because it was a 5-star read with the White House Chef Cozy Mystery Book 1, State of the Onion. This was on my 25 to start in 2025. This was my most voted on series. Out of all 100 and whatever that I showed you, this was the most voted on. This is by Julie Hyzy, and now I know why it was the most voted on because it was a blast. I ended up buddy reading this with my good friend Elizabeth from Lizzie Faye Loves Books. If you don't know Elizabeth from Lizzie Faye Loves Books, go check her out and go subscribe because she has her hands in so much. A lot of the challenges and readathons that you love, Elizabeth was in on making them happen. Amish in April, March Mystery Madness, SAS Challenge, and so many more. It's absolutely incredible. You'll want to go check her out and subscribe. She had already read this, but she loved it so much. She's like, hey, let's read it together. I'm like, yes. Oh, goodness. Okay, so this features assistant chef at the White House named Olivia. And our gal, Olivia, she does have a nickname, I think, but I just can't remember what it is. She has a mentor that is the executive chef. They're very close. He is planning his retirement. And so there is some drama with the replacement of that because she is in the running to step up into that executive position, but also in the running for that position is a very nasty, not nice woman who could be a great victim for a cozy mystery, just saying. She had worked at the White House and now has her own TV show that's very popular. And she just has that attitude of, I'm better because I'm known and famous and everybody should stop what they're doing. And there's this entitlement and she's very hard to stomach. She is in the running for the position also. So there's some definitely some drama that goes on with that. And then there's a lot of action in this book, which I loved. Definitely different for a cozy. Then we have this new guy new position in the White House. His position is cultural something. I can't think of the title. He tries to undermine both Olivia and the executive chef. It's just that he wants to be in control and but not only does he want to be in control and make all the decisions and make decisions that aren't even in his position to make, you know what I mean? But also he wants that other gal to get the position for executive chef, the TV lady. So also there's a little bit of undermining for Olivia specifically. So at the beginning of this, as I said, her mentor is retiring. Well, she has a skillet made and engraved for him as a retirement gift. And so she's left the White House to go pick it up. On her way back, she's coming in, and somebody has got over the fence, past security and everything, and it's in like the fence of the White House and coming towards the house. And Secret Service is trying to, if they can get a shot off, if they can get him captured, that sort of thing. And he's kind of dodging everything. Well, Olivia realizes that she's the only thing standing between her and this guy to get inside the building. So she whacks him, and she whacks him good. Well, he did say some things before she whacked him, and that was he was coming to warn people of danger towards the president. So he's claiming that, he's a good guy. He wasn't planning on doing anything nefarious. He was actually trying to stop something bad from happening. Whether we believe that, so then there's a lot of cover-up going on. Like, she sees the news story about the guy that jumped the fence, but when she sees him, it's not the same guy. And she is secretly dating one of the Secret Service guys. And so he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, And so she's trying to kind of piece it together, but stay out of it too, because she doesn't want to get in trouble. And because she definitely broke protocol by doing what she did. And so she gets a phone call, and it's from that guy. Well, first she had tried to call the jail where he was at because he had been arrested, and they didn't have any record of anybody with this name being there, right? Well, then he reaches out to her by phone, and so they plan to meet at this park. And when they do, things go haywire, and the story just continues to take off from there. I don't want to give too much away because it is action packed. It was a blast. I will definitely be putting this on my SAS list, and thank you all so much for voting on it because I loved it so much. Next up was another 5-star read. I started this month off, It is the Solid Gold Murder right here. This is the second book in the Golden Motel series by Ellen Byron. Ellen Byron can do no wrong. That's what it is for me. Her writing just hits so well for me. This features Dee, and it's set in California. And Dee was a TV sitcom writer, and she kind of got pushed out because of her age, And so she's just kind of listless, and she's trying to figure out what's next in her life and everything. And she just takes this drive, and she runs into this, what does she call it as? Nestled in the shadow of a national park is a time capsule, a place that could use some work. But impulsively, she buys it, and that is the Golden Motel. She goes into business with Jeff. Jeff is her best friend and her ex-husband, and I love the relationship. I just think it's so cool that even though they're not in love anymore, they still know that they love each other, and it doesn't just end, and so they, are able to remain friends. And I think that is beautiful. I love that so much, and I love their relationship. So in this one, the motel has now been labeled the Murder Motel, and they're trying to change that vibe around, of course, because obviously. So they plan this family friendly Fool's Gold weekend, where they're all going to pan for Fool's Gold. And right at the beginning, somebody finds real gold. And so it sets off this everybody's coming. They're bringing their full-on pickaxes, who are panning for gold. This Silicon Valley group of tech people. And they're all very young and have made a lot of money in tech. And so they don't really have the, best grasp on reality and how normal life is for people who haven't, sold a app for millions at 22. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So one of them is this young guy. He's in his 30s, but he's retired because he made so much money doing what he did. And he's a very brilliant man, all of those things, very talented. However, he's also a very nasty man. Well, he's in the friend group, but nobody likes him. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things. Well, he ends up dead. So everybody's a suspect. And Dee is like, oh no, now it's the murder motel ×2. And she's like, I can't let this happen. And her and Jeff are going to figure out what's going on. Absolutely. Chef's kiss. Loved it. This series is so much fun. I just think, again, her writing works for me, but I also think that like motels and inns and all this stuff is just so much fun. So good. Highly recommend. Next up, I read Syrup to No Good. This is by Catherine Bruns. This is number 2 in the Maple Syrup Cozy Mystery Series. And this was another 5-star read. That's 3 in a row. I just want to point that out. 3 in a row. Amazing. So this one features Lila. I don't know. I say Leela. What do you say? Anyways, so Leela, her family owns Sappy Endings, which is a great name for a maple syrup farm. I love it so much. In the first book, she had come back because her father had just been murdered, and now she has stayed on at Sappy Endings and is running the place. So her best friend Heather is getting married, and Heather's parents have had struggles financially, and her uncle is footing the bill for the wedding. And her uncle's wife, she is Monica. I think her name was Monica. She's a very hoity-toity, just nasty woman. And she ends up dead. Well, that's a problem because Heather's like, oh my gosh, my parents think that I need to cancel the wedding because the person who is paying for everything's wife just was murdered, right? So our friend Leela's like, no, we can't let that happen. I'm going to figure out what's going on. Your wedding's going to stay on track. You've been looking forward to this day forever and so forth. It was so good. And I really love the cozy environment of Sugar Ridge, Vermont. I will say I loved the love interest in the first book. And it's the same love interest, don't get me wrong, but I didn't love him as much in this one. People develop and characters develop, and I still really, really liked him, but I didn't love him like I did in the first one. So we'll see how the third one goes. I can't wait to read the third one. Both books, 1 and 2, have been 5+ stars for me. The first book was on my favorites of the year, and I will tell you that the third one coming up is Thanksgiving themed. So I will be reading it in November because there's hardly any Thanksgiving assigned cozies. There's a lot of fall and definitely a lot of Halloween, and I love both of those, but we don't get a lot of specifically Thanksgiving. We have some, and so I'm so excited, and the cover is just adorable. Can't wait. Next up, I read Crops and Robbers. Love that title. This is the third book in the Farmer's Market series by Paige Shelton. It is on my Sass Cozy Mystery list, so job well done. So our gal Bailey in this one, not in this one, she works for a farmer's market. Her twin sister manages the farmer's market. And in this one, at the market, the Central South Carolina Restaurant Association is touring. Now, this restaurant association really furthers these small business by using their produce and their jams and their jellies. So this is a huge deal. Well, when they're touring and walking through, everybody is abuzz and excited, and they get to Bailey's setup, and she makes jams and jellies. And the president just goes off on how much she dislikes her strawberry preserves. And Bailey's like, what just happened? In a nasty, very public, meant to be very demeaning way. And Bailey's just stunned and embarrassed and upset, the whole bit. So she goes home and she is taking showers. She pulls herself together and she goes home to do so. And she finds that president dead in her kitchen. And she's like, what in the world? Well, of course, she's the number one suspect. She just had this public humiliation from this woman, but also her mother is there in the kitchen. Her parents are usually traveling. They had come just for a visit, and her mother is there in the kitchen with blood on her hands. And that's where the story takes off. And it was so good. I gave this 4 cups of coffee. Definitely will be continuing. It is on my Sass list, so hopefully I get to a few more this year. Next up, this isn't really a cozy mystery, but it doesn't belong in my romance wrap up, and I feel like it belongs closer to here than in my romance wrap up, and that's the decision I have made, and it's final. Dirty 30. This is the 30th book in the Stephanie Plum series by Janet Evanovich. This is exactly what you think it is. This is a total comfort read for me. Stephanie and this one, in all of them, right? She has a case, and in this one, it's a local jeweler who is wanting his shop was robbed, but then other things were taken that weren't part of the regular robbery. He thinks that it was an inside job with his security person, and so he wants her to locate them. Our gal Stephanie's boyfriend Morelli is out of town, and so even if he wasn't out of town, I feel like it would have been the same way. But Ranger really steps up. Ranger steps up in all of them, I feel like, but you know what I mean. There is the usual chaos. There's the usual bumbling. There's the usual laughs. It is what it is. Like I said, I feel like this series, you know exactly what you're getting, and that's what I love about it. I gave this one 4 cups of coffee. I will say Lulu is in rare form. I mean, she is like my favorite character, and wow, she really, in this one, I laughed and laughed and laughed. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 cups of coffee. Next up, I read Senior Moments Are Murder. This is the 3rd book in the Paul Jacobson Cozy Mystery series by Mike Befeler. This is also on my SAS list. So I did pretty good with my SAS in 2025 start in 2025. I'm pretty proud of myself this month. This one, I gave 4 cups of coffee. I really enjoyed it. Our guy, Paul, he lives in a retirement community. He is very active, but he has one problem. He has short-term memory loss. So as soon as he goes to sleep, he cannot remember anything. He doesn't remember his family, his surroundings. You get the idea. So he has to keep like this really detailed journal of his life. And in this one, I didn't really like the actual mystery in this one as much, but the laughs from Paul are always such a good time. Paul is not going to be for everybody because he's very self-deprecating, but it's just the situations he gets himself in, because of course people think that he's making up the fact that he can't remember. So, you know, something will happen and the police will be like, well, you had a public fight with this person. He's like, I don't remember that. And they're like, how convenient, sir. And he really doesn't remember that. And so it makes for a very funny time. I enjoyed it. I just didn't enjoy the mystery as much in this one. It was about like an art dealer and it involved the homeless community. And I'm just not much into like art and stuff like that. And so it just didn't hold my attention as much, but the total premise pulls it through just like any of the other Paul Jacobson books. Really enjoyed it. We'll get to the next one. Next up, I read another new series from my 25 to start in 2025, the Pen and Ink series by Krista Davis. Color Me Murder is number 1. And let me tell you, this is another one that was way highly voted on. So this features, I think her name is Flory, and she works at a bookstore, and then she also does like adult coloring books at night. So all the covers, if you buy them in paperback, like you can actually color them. It's the most creative thing. I love that so much. So she has this professor that she's close with, and he gives her this property, and he's like, but you have to move in like right now because I don't want my family to come along and try to take it and blah, blah, blah. Well, his nephew Delbert shows up and he is like, you just wait because I'm going to get you out of here as soon as I can. This business is going to be mine and you're not going to have anything, so forth and so forth. And so she realizes his family's just as bad as the professor has said. Well, she ends up finding Delbert's body very soon after all this. And the professor is the number 1 suspect. So Flory is like, I can't let this happen to him. I know he's not guilty. I'm going to figure out what's going on. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 cups of coffee. It was a great start to a new series for me. Next up, I had another 5-star read. I actually did a short on this. I loved it so much. Diners, Drive-Ins, and Lies. This is part of the Sunny Side Up Cozy Mystery series by Misty Simon. It was so much fun. Now, I am a diner girl. I love everything about the idea of old-time diners. I wish I could do a road trip and just visit every diner. If anybody wants to coordinate something with me, I am all for going on a road trip and just visiting diners. I am dead serious. Get it? Dead. Sorry. Listen, I'm nothing if not a horrible joke teller. Cheers. So this features Jax. Is it Jax? Jax. And I think some people call her Jaxie. But anyways, so Jax, she and her best friend Danny buy this old time diner. Now they've been waitresses. This has been a dream of theirs to own a diner. And so they take the opportunity, they buy this diner, and they restore it back to its old classic diner days because the previous owner had taken some liberties. So they've redone it back to like the black and white checkered, the jukeboxes on the tables. And I'm just like, oh, so excited just even thinking about it. They have a cook that they have ring the bell and like say all the diner phrases. She's not happy about that, but I absolutely love it. Well, things are going good for the diner. It just opened and things are going well. And Jax has an Aunt Hildy who has a very nice restaurant in the area too. And she goes to that restaurant and there is this womanizing scam artist of a guy. And she goes out to throw something away or just steps outside and somebody pushes her in the dumpster. And in the dumpster with her is this guy, the one that I just told you about, the womanizing scam artist. And that wouldn't seem too bad for Jax at the time. That does not, mean there's any connection, except that later we find out that he was strangled with a lanyard that she had bought for the Sunny Side Up Diner. And that's where things go awry. And it is so much fun. There's also a love interest who I loved named Elliot. He is the cook at Aunt Hildy's restaurant, but he was a former cop. So when our main character, Jax's dad, who is a current cop, asked her to kind of look into it, but he doesn't want to put her in danger. He just wants her to use the diner because the diner is a great place for gossip, right? So he's like, just keep your ears open. And he's like, hey, why don't you get Elliot on board with helping you so that there's some protection? And that leads them to kind of get to know each other. And I really like that this love interest that's blooming. Really, really, really love this one. 5 stars all the way. The only thing I will say about it is that her best friend Danny sometimes wasn't the nicest to her. Like, I understand that maybe there were times where Jax needed to focus more on the diner and less on the investigation. It was just the way and the tone that it was set in. If that was my best friend, I'd be like, whoa, you need to speak to me a little bit different. Maybe a little more assertively and a little less aggressively sort of thing. But oh my gosh, this was the most fun. And if you are a diner gal like I am, you need to check this out. That was my last cozy mystery read for the month. I had the most amazing month. I can't even pick a favorite. No, I can't pick a favorite because some of my 5-star reads will be in my favorites of this year. It was just amazing. What was your favorite of the month? Can you pick one? Were you between some? Let me know what you read. Put it all in the comments below. If you don't have anything in particular that you want to say, let's see, we are going into fall, so leave me a fall emoji to get us in the spirit of the best time of year. Give me a big thumbs up for this video, and until next time, may all you future reads be 5 stars. Bye, everybody.